Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Nichols of Soulful Integration, and today I have with me Lisa Warden, who will be presenting on how to do mind map collages. Now, I've been friends with Lisa for several years. She has a master's in social work and does counseling. She works with essential oils, and she has been doing amazing oracle card readings for well over 20 years, and she's been doing those in my Gathering of the Mystics group. So I'm so happy to have Lisa here. Welcome, Lisa.
Hey, thanks for having me, Michelle. I appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday to help me put this together and get the word out about how this can help people.
Awesome. So I approached you and asked you what was a mind map collage and how is it different from a vision board?
So it is my own unique of putting all kinds of things together in a mashup to make it all kinds of good manifesting fun. So part of what we are doing is using really conscious languaging choices, and we start with a heart in the middle. And we use a lot of conscious languaging, and I'll get into that as we go through. We always put the date on it because this is an important piece. And then for some of these, you might feel inspired, like, okay, this is the one I choose to make a collage with. And so then what we're doing is we are literally using the feng shui bagua, the same graph chart, however you want to think about it, that you would align your house with, you really use to construct your collage. And so this one in particular is usually the one that I pull out when I'm demonstrating how powerful this is. So the date I've got on here is 9/3/2019. So I usually, like I said, I go on Google Images and I just find these things. And so I had made up my mind, now's the time I need to get a drum. And I was really drawn to this drum, and it was a hand painted drum. And it was like a couple weeks later, and I just felt like I needed to go on eBay. And sure enough, I go on eBay. Here was the drum, the same hand painted drum.
Nice.
And so when we have the visual that goes with these really powerful conscious language and word choices, it's astonishing how we can bring our visual together with all kinds of other things. Now, I put a lot of mindfulness in before I might meditate on which images I want to use. I've got some decks of cards that I've gotten out in order to talk about how to zero in on how to set an intention. Because when you are mind mapping, you aren't just looking at, oh, I'd like to get a new car and I want it to be a nice car. Like when you think about getting a car, Michelle, why do you want a car?
Well, ultimately, I want a car. I want something that's going to be reliable, that's going to be durable, that's going to get me from point A to point B. And, if it's fun to drive, that would be awesome too.
Why do you want to get to point A to point B?
Because I'm doing either something that's fun or something that needs to get done. Like I may be going to work, or so I can earn money, so I can support my lifestyle.
And why do you want to earn money and support your lifestyle? What's
Because
the
I don't
point of
want to
all?
live in a box.
Oh, down by the river?
Right.
But when you think about your purpose, like what is your purpose in this world? Your highest purpose?
My highest purpose in this world is really to provide value to my brothers and sisters, to provide service, to interact with other people, really.
How does the car fit into that?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot in my own presentation and interview. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Well, okay, so I can use a car to come and say hello to you, or I can use a car to go to an event where I might meet other people. Even at work, I'm meeting other people. And then that will get me there so I can help them.
It's legit the vehicle of our divine mission, right?
Right.
Like even if you get a tap, tap, tap on the shoulder that you need to go to the grocery store right now, it is the vehicle that we use to fulfill Spirit's plan. And so when you think about some of the things that come into our life, they're not just things, they are the tools we use in order to be God's hands and feet, or the universe's hands and feet on this planet. So it's so
Hey,
important to,
Lisa, can we
yeah.
pause for a minute? Can you just say that and then pause it and sink in? Because that's a gold, that's a nugget right there. That's a nugget.
Okay, what am I doing? What do you want me
You're
to do?
you're repeating what you said about it being about how things help us relate to the world, and then give people a chance to soak that in.
Okay. So things are really just tools that we use to fulfill our divine mission. They are the hands and feet of God or the universe. They're literally how we fulfill our divine mission. So when we say, oh, we don't need all that money, or we don't need that fancy car, well, if you have room in your vehicle to take 3 more people with you to a retreat, if you have enough cash that you can pay for the person's groceries behind you in line when spirit taps you on the shoulder, if you have an extra pair of shoes because of whatever, because inadvertently you ended up with 2 from the place that you sent off for the shoes for, it's always so you can fulfill your divine mission. And we do that from a space of abundance. And so sometimes the barrier to attracting things is what we feel like we deserve and what we feel like we're capable of earning and those kinds of things. And this visualization and this process of, instead of looking at what it's going to take to manifest this car, how many hours I've got to work, I'm fulfilling God's mission, is the intention, and it's the center of your whole thing when you're creating one of these maps. And so,
Wow.
like how I had manifested the drum really quickly after that, some of the other things on here as I was looking were pretty powerful as I was looking through. So of course, where you put your intention, energy flows. And so I was laughing at some of the things that I'd manifested since 2019. I got so busy and wrapped up in some other things that I haven't been doing this as much. So I'm thankful for you also to put my attention back on it. I hate black tennis shoes, but for some reason I had put this black tennis shoe on as a symbol of something I do love, which is running. And so how funny is it that I ended up with a black pair of tennis shoes last year that I absolutely hated. And so it's careful, be mindful, of course. But obviously lots of pictures of running in my health area because of how good it makes me feel to be able to run. And when I feel good in my body, I am able to really share that message of health and renewal to other people.
Hey, Lisa. One of the things that you said kind of made me a little bit nervous.
Okay.
Right early on, you talked about how this was like a feng shui thing. Totally not my ballpark. Like, definitely not my zone of genius. Are you going to walk us through that a little bit and
Absolutely.
maybe give us some of the bit behind it?
Absolutely. And I'll just share this last one. And well, no, I got to share them all. Okay. So then I've got this little one about running here, about how it's my soul that never gets tired when I'm running, because it feels so good, mind, body, and spirit when I'm running. Oh, and then like numbers. Like for me, when I see the numbers 444, that's something I've incorporated into my email address, and I have it all over the place because to me, that 444 is alignment with my angels. So to me, I have a mix of pictures that mean things to me. I have a mashup of words that mean things to me. And how I align them on there is really easy. If you go to your Google Images, and I'm going to pull it up because I think it'll show up okay. And I just type in Feng Shui, FENGSHUI, and then it's BAGUA map. And I just use a really simple one. Can you see that okay, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got wealth and prosperity, and then fame and recognition. I just went to the eye doctor, so part of this might be on me, health think in the center. But regardless, they can take that up, and maybe you can provide us the link and we'll put it in the in with the replay information. Does that sound good?
In the
Okay,
Facebook
cool.
to you. So it's a really simple process. So I turn this around and I make my upper left-hand corner. Oop, I got, this is where I put the upper left-hand corner of my map is wealth and prosperity, fame and reputation, and love and marriage goes in the upper right corner. Then in the middle is your health and ancestors, health and center, children and creativity. And then the bottom, knowledge and self-cultivation, career and life path in the middle on the bottom, and helpful people and travels go on that other corner. So
Hey,
I put
Lisa.
some, yeah.
So what would you do if you don't know what you want for one of those areas? Like you're open, or you just haven't thought about it, or nothing's like really springing to mind. How do you handle that?
I guess I always cheat. So if you could think about the area of your life, Michelle, let me know what area it is that you would like greater clarity on.
Well, okay, right now, let's do career. It's always career with me. I should look at some of the others, but
So New Beginnings came out. And
sweet.
so when I look at this card and I see what's bright, I see it looks almost like lilacs in her bouquet, and the sun is really bright. So to me, how do you resonate with the idea of getting a picture of either lilacs or bright sunshine?
Oh, I love the idea of sunshine, even if it's just like one of those hand drawn, like ones like kids style, because you're not getting major art from me, but that feels pretty good to me.
Absolutely. And it's important to have fun, because I've got one of those sunshines on mine because it's just silly and fun and it's inspiring. So that is literally how you cheat. Now, think about another area that you're looking for clarity on, and I'll throw you another card, Michelle.
Okay, right on. See, you guys should have come into the live, because apparently we're getting little bonuses. This is awesome. Thanks, Lisa.
Oh,
Let's do love and marriage.
love and marriage. Okay. And so this card flipped up, and the deer, and you see the gentleman riding with the teeny tiny little butterfly wings. So to me, when I look at this, I see the deer is really bright, and the totem medicine of a deer is to be very gentle with yourself. So if you are looking to really have a great foundation in your marriage or your relationship with your partner, however that is, a deer is a really nice animal to focus on, because the more gentle you are with your partner, lots of times that's very reciprocal, and it's easy to be nice to somebody who's nice to you.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing that's really bright is these two little chickadees.
Oh, I didn't even see them on the first pass. Yep.
And chickadees have the sweetest little cheep, 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 cheep. And I forget off the top of my head. You can look that up to Michelle to see what chickadee medicine is all about. But I think about chickadees don't really leave in the wintertime. They come down from Canada, and we've actually got more chickadees in the wintertime because they come from the really much harsher winter down here, but they can withstand and endure. And so chickadee medicine, that's part of what chickadee has to offer. So it might be nice to have a chickadee in there as well.
I just laughed because it popped into my head. Chickadees have sisu. I don't know. Sisu, the idea, grit, this whole thing we have in the UP here.
I didn't remember that word off the top of my head. So what's another area that you would be looking to see about, Michelle?
Prosperity and abundance is a good one for me. That's a theme that I like.
We got two. Okay. All right. Exercise and expect a miracle. Oh, this is nice. So see how he's got these dumbbells?
Yeah.
So anything that is representative of strength, because to me, he's building strength. And so when I think about your financial situation, anything that is going to demonstrate you have financial strength is going to be really what is going to be helpful for you. And then expect a miracle. What is really bright to me in this is the crystal.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so you can print off pictures of crystals. In fact, today for my collage, I had a rose quartz.
Heart. Love it.
Yeah. So to me, this is like the biggest, like I hate the idea of finger painting because, but to me, this is like recess. This is like all of the things get to come together.
Awesome.
So you can do a lot of different things. If you don't choose to do the collage and you just want to do the map, I like to keep all my maps in the same binder if I'm not going to be pulling them out to do the collage with, because it keeps them all in one place and I can come back to them and I can upgrade them and change them, say thank you, and build off of the last one if I feel like I need to upgrade some of the words, because you know, like when I manifested black running shoes and I didn't, that was not my highest choice. Right?
Right. So next time look for white running shoes or something you would like, right?
Exactly.
So don't take shortcuts with your images. That was my takeaway from that.
Yes. And it's funny that you said white, because guess what I printed out for myself, Michelle? I have white running shoes that I printed off.
Nice.
When I was cutting, sometimes they, oh, here they are. There's my white running shoes.
Yep, you are on top of it this time.
Well, you and I together are on top of it anyway. So then you can prepare your paper. And so however your pathway to your higher power, it can be a very individualized thing. If you choose to hold a ceremony during a full moon, because these are the things that you want to bring in, you can put your paper on your altar. You can put Reiki into your paper. You can, like I've got some of my oils. So pure rose oil is extremely expensive. So what I normally do is I make up like a little roller ball with my amethyst in it. And so then I can like scritch that all over my paper a little bit, because roses actually carry the frequency of love. It is the highest vibration on the planet is rose. So you can prepare your paper like that if that's what you want to do. It's like the sky is the limit with anything that you want to bring in. And I should have done that earlier, but I thought, oh, I'll do it so you can see that it doesn't have to be a neat and tidy process. You can give yourself real permission to play. And so what is really good about colors is our brain really responds to color really well, and it will grab on to the different message, and it will really, even though you're writing one big map, it'll contrast all the different legs, so to speak, of what that map looks like, and really help put that out into the universe. So one of the things to keep in mind is we cannot bring in anything that we don't have the frequency of. So if you are sending out really crummy messages about how much you hate people, you are not going to get loving people attracted to you in your life. If you are sending out loving messages, you're not then going to get hateful unless you have the wound that is inside of you and still sending out that message. So if you find you're a really sweetie pie person and yet you've got all this yuck, then one of the things that you can do is you can work on healing your own heart. And that's something that you can put on your map, which is why I've got the rose quartz, because that's something else that came up to me because I attracted a pattern that I thought that I was done with. And there's some really great music on YouTube, and that's something that you can be having in the background while you're mind mapping, because again, that adds to the frequency of what you're doing. So they have heart healing frequencies on YouTube. You can let that play in your house, and especially in your bedroom, because then you can be sleeping in that frequency all night, and that really helps you call forward a new pattern in your life, or abundance, or something like that. For me, harmony blend is something I oftentimes put on my map, because I have the intention of what I choose, and I set my intention that I am in harmony with my highest choice, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are your favorite colors, Michelle?
I love green. I've been really getting into gold lately. For wearing, I love pink, actually, because I rock pink for whatever reason. I don't know. I just like being able to play with colors and see how they play with each other.
I am a purple girl, but if you had any choices, I might start with pink, with drawing my heart, because that's probably your power color. Either that, or that's the chakra that you're really using the most of to, the frequency that you're hanging out in. So for me, I'm likely to draw my heart 9.5 times out of 10 out of the purple, because me and purple, there just isn't enough purple on the planet, right? So today is 26 today, Michelle?
Yep, 26.
Okay. So this is always how I start. Got the date in the corner. I've got my heart. So what is an example of something that you think that people listening are going to want to manifest, Michelle?
That's a good one. It's February. Health might be a concern. Prosperity and abundance, relationships.
Let's do health, relationships, and those kinds of things. And let's so right now I'm kind of tuning into, I'm asking for information for the group, and I'm thinking about what it is like to be perfectly healthy, what it is to be perfectly abundant. And so I am God's divine health right now. I am God's divine health right now and forever. Because we can be really healthy in 1 minute, and then we get bad health news, right? And
Sure.
so you can say, I am God's divine health right now and forever, or you can say, I am God's divine health and I stay, whichever one resonates with you. Because when you anchor with and I stay, that is like I am speaking and articulating right now that that's the frequency I choose to stay in. Make sense?
That makes sense.
So what kinds of things would you be doing now that you are God's divine health? Oh, and I'm going to write wealth, because that just came to me that I can put those two together. So what kinds of things do you think you would be doing, Michelle, if you are God's divine health and wealth right now and forever?
Well, I'd be taking care of my body. I'd be eating good foods as best as I could afford and have the time to prepare. I might even expand that a little bit and try and stretch myself a little. I'd be doing some absolutely lovely movement. I'd be doing some meditation or things to help me relax. Welcome, Jamie.
Sorry I'm late.
Glad you made it.
I got some things that popped up, and then I'm sitting here going, there was something I needed to do. Took me a minute. I'm sorry.
No, we're really glad you made it. Thank you for jumping on, Jamie. So right now, Michelle and I were kind of doing like a what it could look like if somebody was choosing to manifest health and wealth. And so I wrote down, I eat good food, because some of the rest of the things are limiting verbiage. So I just kind of went, and then I said, I am moving with grace and ease, because now that you are God's divine health and wealth, I eat really good food. I move with grace and ease. Now that you move with grace and ease, what's new and different, Michelle?
I'm able to do everything I want to do.
Which is what? What do you want to do?
Put me on the spot. Let's ask Jamie what she wants to do while I think about it. Thanks for jumping on, Jamie.
Talk about putting someone on the spot. I just got here.
Absolutely. That's what Michelle's thinking. She's like, sheesh, I didn't know what I was in for.
Right? She just wanted to be the fly on the wall and watch the process.
She is the process. So
Always.
what we're doing, Jamie, is we are using some of the conscious languaging things I've been learning over the past couple of years to do what we call a mind map. And then from there, you can build a collage on the other side if you choose to. But if we get in the habit of thinking about how to consciously word things, then it has made a really powerful difference in how things come to me. So the heart in the middle, which is the purpose for us attracting these things, is I am God's divine health and wealth right now and forever. And so then I said, well, Michelle, if you are God's divine health and wealth right now, what are you doing? What's new and different? She says, I eat good food. And then when she was eating good food, I said, okay, now what's new and different? I am moving with grace and ease. Okay, now that you're moving with grace and ease, what are you doing? And that's where she tagged you.
And I'll tag myself back in to give Jamie a chance to think about that question too.
Okay.
So now that I'm moving with grace and ease, I am doing things like going to art museums and going to plays and visiting with friends. And I was going to say gardening, but that's totally not me. I have a black thumb and I don't want to garden, but I'm enjoying time outside.
I enjoy time outside. Okay. What play do you want to go to?
I'd love to see Hamilton.
Okay. I am watching Hamilton, and it's always in present moment, because you can't lean into the future. You can't lean into the past. The only time is now.
And I am enjoying time at the Chicago Museum of Arts and Science.
Thank you.
And I'm going
Museum of Art and Science.
And I am going to the Labyrinth of Jareth Masquerade Ball, because that just sounds fun. I've been wanting to do it forever.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Chicago Museum of Art and Science. Okay, and what else is it?
I'm going to the Labyrinth of Jareth Masquerade Ball.
Okay, Labyrinth. Do you know how to spell that?
Absolutely. Labyrinth.
Why? I always say labyrinth in my head when I'm spelling it.
Oh, okay. So she's enjoying the labyrinth of
Jareth, Jareth. So fans of the movie The Labyrinth will really, they need to look that up on Google, seriously.
It sounds, Michelle, like you're having a lot of adventures.
You're right. Yeah, that is a lot of adventure.
And that's what this is all about, because this is your journey, your purpose in this life should get you so enthusiastic that it feels like the grandest adventure of your lifetime. Because the people I've learned conscious languaging from are like, if you struggle with abundance, it's because you have focused on a goal that is way too small for yourself. And you need to get up to something that is big and scary and bodacious. So you always have it in the present tense. I am enjoying the labyrinth of Jareth now. Okay, so what else, Michelle, now that you are God's divine health and wealth right now and forever, what else is new and different for you?
I am living in a new mild climate.
I live in okay, what is a mild climate to you?
A mild
Does that
climate is something
winter
where
is
I don't get 37 inches of snow in 2 days.
So where do you consider, like, specific, where is it that you're living now that you live in a mild climate?
I'd like to move downstate somewhere, probably within like a couple hours of the Detroit area.
Okay. So I live in a beautiful home near Detroit. What is new and different for you now that you live in a beautiful home near Detroit?
Well, you know, all those art museums and plays I was talking about, those are a lot of that, more of that's going to be available. More
Okay.
restaurants will be available, and Miss Jamie herself will be a little more accessible then as well, in person. Zoom is great, but I love my in-person stuff.
I love traveling and traveling. Is there another word besides traveling you would use to going to the museums? Like, what would you say that is?
Exploring, actually.
Okay.
That's a
Thank
good
you.
word.
So do you see how I had a hard time, clear cancel? I had a challenge, like that just didn't fit when I was trying to say traveling.
Yeah.
That's a good cue that there's an upgrade for that. So if you notice that, okay, that word doesn't seem to flow, how else can I say this? I love exploring art museums and restaurants in Detroit and surrounding areas. Okay, now what's new and different now that you are exploring art museums and restaurants in Detroit and the surrounding areas?
I'm meeting new people. I'm more cultured. I'm different.
How
I've
are you different?
upgraded.
How?
Okay, put me on the spot. Let's work this out. All
Oh,
right, how am I
this
different?
is a good one. There's been some that I'm on a Zoom call with 100 people and I'm pulling my eyes out. This is okay.
You use your trick, Mick. The whole, if you had to guess.
I'm feeling more joyful.
Yes, I am full of joy. Actually,
And
I
life,
am.
full of life.
Yeah, full of life, full of joy.
Hi, Kat.
So what's new and different for you now that you are joy now and forever?
I wake up every day excited to be alive.
Oh, did you feel that?
Yes, that was an amazing shift. Lisa, would you be willing to do a session like this where you're walking people through doing this? Because I don't know, left to my own devices, I would have been like, nope, I'm feeling joyful. I'm like, okay, that's it. But I love how you're able to pull this out of me, things that even I don't know, because to me, it seems like it's always easier to help somebody else with something like that than it is to do it yourself. Like Jamie's like, use your own trick on yourself. And I'm like, because of course, if I was doing it for you, I would be asking the same questions. But there's something about having somebody walk you through that feels very supportive and nurturing.
Yes. Yes. And that's why it's important that the people on the call, are voting each other's victory. And Jamie just came on with that real love energy and she just started supporting both of us right away with that. You could feel that.
She did.
And
Yeah.
it's really helpful to have that support, just like you said. So this is definitely something I can do in one-on-one sessions with people, because sometimes it's a very personal matter when you're talking about healing some of the things. And, we can definitely come on and do this again if you think that people will be like, oh, now I see. Because sometimes I really clear cancel to put these things into words, how powerful they are. When you said, okay, write a description, I'm like,
Yeah.
How do you even put words on the upgrade that you just got? Like all of a sudden you could see yourself excited to wake up every day of your life.
And I
And
definitely didn't feel that at the beginning of this call. Full disclosure here, people.
yeah, but now you know that it's real and you felt it. And so then every time that you go back to your map, Michelle, it makes it that much more real. And then when you add pictures to it and you choose to either put it on your altar or you put it in a space where you're going to see it all the time, in your kitchen, in your restroom, in your bedroom, wherever, it just makes it that much more real. And it connects you with that feeling that you had the second you first knew that this was your potential.
Yeah. It's an amazing process. I mean, I've done vision boards before. And even what we've done today, I can tell it doesn't feel the same. It feels different. It feels more involved. In theta terms, it's digging deeper. It's getting beyond that surface level stuff that we're dealing with, and it's going deeper.
Absolutely. So I think about it as harnessing the power of the spoken word. And to me, there's nothing more powerful than what you speak over yourself and you speak into existence. Like I grew up in a Christian church, so our Bible was our holy book. And so over and over and over in my head, all the time would be, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. And I'd be like, what the heck does that mean? Because I remember being a teenager and that it would come back and be like, I have no idea what that means. And it wasn't until just a few years ago when I was taking the conscious languaging and the guy is talking about, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word brought forth the world. And I was like, that's true, because that's what Om supposedly did, was that God emitted the sound Om and poof, here we were.
So it's kind of a off topic, but can you explain to people why you're saying clear cancel on things?
Sometimes I don't know the highest way to say things. And so it's like you put in your order for something that you know isn't your highest good. So there's some particular words that really manifest some humdinger stinkers that you don't want to have. Clear cancel. If you can remove the word want from your vernacular, want is the seat of all that gets in our way. Anything that you say that you want, the universe only hears, I'm in want, clear cancel. And you just stay wanting. You can, if you choose to say the word hard, that creates tumors in the body. If you say, some of the other things, and it isn't about making it right or wrong, there's just upgrades. And so it isn't about doing things perfectly, because, oh my heavens, I don't know if I would write down what Lisa would. I don't know the perfect thing every time, but it's all about today is where I'm at. And tomorrow, if I know a better upgrade, I'll write it differently tomorrow. I'll say it differently tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, do you have any questions at this point?
I'm following along.
Okay. Did you get your paper? Did you bring a paper so we can do this for you?
I didn't.
Okay.
I rushed in. I didn't have time to go dig out paper or anything. So.
Okay. Do you want to do one? Because obviously you're on the spot. Like Michelle, she kind of got suckered because it was just her and I.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I'm.
It's up to you, Jamie, but Lisa's offering you a golden opportunity if she's willing to do it.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where I'd go with it, to be honest. Because
kind of her guiding you.
Kind of exploded recently as it is.
So all you do is you think
in a good way.
an life that you would like to upgrade. So Michelle had chose, or actually Michelle chose for the group something that people might really be akin to learning more about, or how to word things. So like the sky is like no limit. So even if you wanted a new dog and you would say, I enjoy my perfect pet right now. I mean, there's no wrong thing to put in the middle. Or if you wanted a new job, we could put in, you know, I am God's divine commission right now, fully manifest, or there's just no wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just in my life right now, I applied for I applied for a promotion that I didn't expect to get, and I went into it thinking this was a learning opportunity, and I got the promotion.
Okay, so is
And
that
then
smooth your path on that at all?
I mean, I'm still in the middle of doing all the paperwork and stuff, so but it was interesting because I really did go into it thinking, well, there's one slot, a bunch of people applying. He's not going to be me. They ended up hiring 3, and I was one of their like first picks. So
Nice. Nice. So anything that you come across in life that feels like it's not as smooth as you want it to be. This could be, you know, when some people are buying a vehicle and a title is hung up, you can do a map for clearing the way to I am enjoying my fully titled in my own name vehicle right here today. And now that it is reality, what's new and different? I am enjoying my time doing this and that again, or I am enjoying driving in my vehicle. I'm taking it to the beach on Sunday. You know, whatever it is that is needing clear cancel upgrade, you can do a map. There are some people that have, one of the ladies that taught me, she was going through a really nasty divorce. And so she wanted, it was her highest choice to be divorced by a certain day, and legit to the day that she drew that, she had, the divorce was done that day, even though there had been so many challenges. The court wasn't going to be open on one of the days because it was around a holiday. I mean, it is such a powerful process. It's challenging for me to just really express with words how powerful it is. She's paid off her car really quickly because we sometimes put limits on how we get money. And so she's paid off vehicles really quickly by manifesting additional people to help, so that she's got additional funds to pay the vehicle off. All kinds of things that we can do this for.
okay. Thank you. I'll think about it while we're, you know, finishing Michelle's, because I'm, like I said, I'm just not really sure. Like, everything just changed yesterday, so I'm not really sure where I'm going at the moment, other than I'm working on this promotion, and that's pretty amazing. So
Can I pick on you a bit, Jamie? Would that be okay?
sure.
Now that you are sure, what's new and different?
What do you mean, sure? Now that I'm sure.
Now, because I don't know is one of those anxiety blocks.
Oh, yeah.
So now that you are sure, what's new and different in what you want to map? So what is the first thing that kind of bubbles to the surface? It's easy to laugh at Michelle when I'm doing it to her, isn't it?
Well, and this is where I really love the phrase, if you had to guess, because it kind of frees you from.
She used to use that one on me all the time. If you had to guess.
Absolutely, because Bill gets really attached to giving right answers, and this isn't about right answers. May I throw a card for you and see what comes up?
Sure.
Yep. That's funny. Just a few came out.
Just a few came out.
So it looks like you got lots of different choices, but let's see. Okay, thank you. All right, so 3 different cards came out. Enchantment, Shadow Self, and Compassion. So what I see is healing inner child. Is that something that would be a good goal for you to heal the hurts of the past?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's kind of funny because I was just talking to my coworker yesterday about how this new promotion is going to be interesting because I'll be speaking up and correcting people in ways that I used to do, but I don't do anymore because I always made everybody angry, and so people thought I was, a know-it-all and rubbing my knowledge in their faces or whatever. And now that's actually going to be my job.
Absolutely. So
So,
what do you think about that as the main quality that you will have to have in order to convey your message and have it be well received?
well, I've learned a lot about being objective and a little bit less in your face about things. So I feel like I will be more successful now with the resources that I have and the things that I've learned over the years.
The word
So
that popped
I'm
up,
still dealing with a little bit of what's the word? What's that phrase where you like
imposter
imposter
syndrome.
syndrome? There we go.
And the word
But
that popped up for me for what you will need, Jamie, is actually just compassion.
yeah.
So one of the things that I think about is I am God's divine message received in love now and forever. So that's what I drew in the heart.
Okay.
So now that you are God's divine message received in love now and forever, what's new and different?
I don't have to be afraid that I'm going to offend everybody every time I open my mouth.
If you're not afraid, then what are you? Are you confident?
Yeah.
I am confident every time I open my mouth. Now that you're confident every time you open your mouth, what's new and different in your life, Jeannie?
I can be the subject matter expert that I know I am, that people can rely on.
I am the expert people rely on. You always want to get rid of the cans. Anything that you can cut out and make it more succinct, the energy is more powerful. Now that you are the expert people rely on, what's new and different for you?
I can expand. I'm
You
trying
just
to
say
figure out
the
how to
whole,
word this.
you just say it. Well, I'll help you clean it up.
Okay. So I can confidently start training people at work.
I confidently train people at work. And now that you confidently train people at work, what's new and different for you?
I'm proud of myself.
Woohoo!
Nice.
That's the thing. That's the moment Michelle just had.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving that to yourself, Jamie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now that you are God's divine message received in love now and forever, what else is new and different in your life?
The sky's the limit.
So where's the sky?
Way far away. I don't know. whatever
So-
I want when I decide I want it.
Absolutely, there you go. You always choose a specific because spirit doesn't speak ambiguity. So what was it that you said? I can get anything I choose when I choose it.
Yep. Including the next promotion.
I enjoy even more promotions. So now that you have yet another new promotion, what's new and different in your life?
I'll be much more financially stable.
I am financially. And are you okay with the word sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sound now and forever. All right.
I'm going to meet you on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just like how we did, you just keep going back to your main, whatever it was. So we chose communication together because that was the thing that was going to be the struggle, clear, cancel. And we turned it, and that is the thing. There's a verse in the Bible that says, let the weak man say that he's strong. So our greatest strengths are our greatest weaknesses turned inside out. So whatever you feel like clear cancel is a struggle, clear cancel is where you look to get these little things that you put in the heart because they are areas of your greatest blessing. We just haven't allowed them to manifest.
Okay. That's really neat how that actually kind of works and kind of leads you off into completely unexpected places.
Mhm. Thank you for having the guts to do that, Jamie.
Thank you for helping me with it.
Happy to do it. So the first part of the video, when you go back and listen to the replay, helps you figure out how to do the pictures on the other side if you want. And as I explained earlier, you can keep like a little notebook. And if you don't want to do the collage side, that's just icing on your cake. This is the part, this is the meat, right? And so you put them all in a binder, and just like how I would go through my college notes every few days, to keep fresh, so I didn't have to work as hard to study and cram. It was just kind of a gradual, okay, this information's refreshing. And so you will just revisit these things, and when they're together, sometimes it's a little easier if you're not going to do the collage part.
That makes sense.
So I had like a book like this, but when my husband went to the store, they didn't have that particular one anymore. So I just got a single spiral. So you want paper that's a little bit thicker than, I just like it a little bit thicker. You can do a regular notebook if that's what you want. But for me, I need the lines out of the way.
That makes sense. Open space.
Yeah. Yeah. And I talked about using some of my essential oils on it for frequency. You can put crystals with it as a grid. If you read any kind of cards, you can help you with the cards. It's just, you can really integrate anything that you want into this modality. It's really pretty powerful.
It is.
And
It
that
is. It feels like,
Go ahead, Jamie.
sorry, it feels a little bit like what Michelle and I did when I was trying to manifest my house, you know, but like more honed in, you know, because we did a lot of manifestation around me buying a house, and you know, I drew the house I wanted, which this didn't end up being that house, but it was exactly what I needed, where I needed it to be, you know, and it is still, you know, what I chose and needed at the time, right? And still is. I love my house.
Good.
But it feels like this technique is like that one kind of, I don't know, focused in, like laser sights almost.
It is pretty specific.
That question that asks, okay, you have this, so what does that mean? So now what? That's really powerful, because otherwise, when I did the technique with Jamie, I just kind of waited until I heard she was done. But I think if I would have had this in my toolkit back then, I could have brought her in even a little bit deeper, and we could have honed in a little bit more. So
Yeah.
thank you for the extra new technique that I will totally use in my work, with a little spin, of course.
Good. Good. Good.
Well, do you feel good about where we're at, Lisa? This feels pretty complete to me.
I do. It does to me too. I feel really good about it. Thank you for taking your time on a Saturday, Jamie and Michelle. I really appreciate you helping to help me get the word out about this.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
Well,
I'm so glad that I popped in, you know, and didn't go, oh, I'm so late, I'm just gonna hide now and not do this.
Which is why I thought that you jumped on anyway, because that's never easy for anybody.
all right. Well, I want to thank Lisa for being here and presenting on these amazing tools of Mind Map Collages. So thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right.